I'm traveling today. I'm in my hotel room in Salt Lake City, Utah. And about an hour ago, I had a call with a prospective client. And after speaking with them, it just reminded me why other digital accessibility companies can't compete with accessible.org. So let's talk through what I have on the whiteboard to really just work through why they can't compete. So initially, we have this project plan, right? We're the client, and this client in particular came to me for a VPAT. So they say we need a VPAT, and other clients may say we need make our website ADA compliant. There may be other requests, but you get the idea here, right? So the client comes to you and they're asking for this simple request. And let's say their goals are we want to, if it's a VPAT, we want to be eligible for contracts. If it's to make our website ADA compliant, we don't want to get sued. And then overarching this may be we want to ensure that our digital assets are accessible to our audience, right? So those are the client goals, right? Very simple. Let's just get to this endpoint. Well, then they talk to these different digital accessibility companies and they're met with subscriptions and they're met with all of these additional things that they never even contemplated. They just want exactly what they came to the company for, but that's not what they're getting. So they're met with, and this is what I have next on the whiteboard is an annual subscription plan. Wait, what? How do we get to a subscription, right? Like, do we need a subscription? Oh yeah, you do because accessibility is a journey, and we want you to pay forever. So our idea is, hey, let's create a plan, a package, a program, whatever you want to call it, for $35,000, and then we want you to sign a contract, a 2-year contract, and then we want you to renew after that. But our plan comes with everything, right? So you're going to get platform access. Everything will be included. There will be scans, support tickets, testing. You'll have a dedicated team for your representative. You will get our legal expertise, our legal team. You will get tools, and you'll get analytics, and so on. And so I have all of these on various sticky notes on my whiteboard. But the point here is these clients are being inundated with all of these different things, and they're not even sure, like, hey, do we even need this? And this is a lot higher than we thought it would be. And we also don't want to sign up for a subscription. So this client came to me after talking to all of these other companies. And then I'm telling them, like, look, this is all you need here. This is exactly what I would do. And we can provide our services a la carte. And so, whatever you need, we can always add to it later if you need to, but it's not going to be any more than this. So, my approach is just to provide exactly what the client needs and nothing more. If I think there are other things that can help them, I will make those suggestions, but they're optional. And I'll tell them they're optional. It's like, you don't need this. And I'm thinking of user testing right now, but it's an option. You don't need to have it. It's a nice to have, but here's something that would complement what you're after. But these this client in particular was so relieved to talk to me because they found out that they could get these services individualized, so they could purchase them a la carte, and that's just not the case with some of these big digital accessibility companies. So it was funny because I was on the call and I was listening to them, and it's just already I recognized it over and over again. They're like, yes, this is, this sounds more like what we were after to begin with. We just wanted to get a VPAT originally, and then we're being inundated with all of these extras that we didn't even know, and we're being told that we need or that can help us, and we just don't, that's not what we wanted. So this sounds more in line with what we were doing. So this client and I, we're going to progress, but it's just a stark difference when you're working with accessible.org versus these other companies, because they're trying to, increase valuation and increase their stock price, and it's just that's not what I'm doing here. I'm the founder. I'm the operator right now, and I'm providing these services. These are excellent services, by the way. They're going to be very likely. I can't say this for certainty, right? But they're very likely far superior to anything that you're going to get from one of the bigger digital accessibility companies, and that is because I'm not trying to. This is not a volume operation. I'm not Walmart where I'm trying to shove things through. This is, let's make sure that this is done the right way, and I pay my contractors accordingly, because I want the best. I want my clients to know they're getting an excellent quality service. And so they can be confident knowing that when they hire me, I'm looking out for their best interests. I'm not just trying to get my revenue numbers up. I genuinely want my clients to get the best service possible. So it's a difference. It's a big difference, and you'll know it when you all you have to do is talk to, let's say, a sample of 5 companies. You'll know the difference. One, I talk in details and specificity, and I also talk in plain English, so you'll know exactly what I'm saying. And if you don't, I'll explain it to you. And uh, everything is exactly what you need and nothing more. I'll tell you exactly what you need and nothing more. I don't need to upsell you. I don't need to sell you. I don't need to try to coerce my clients into a contract or a subscription. Why would you need a subscription for accessibility unless you absolutely wanted it, right? If you wanted to have audits being conducted on a biannual or annual basis, that makes sense. If you want ongoing user testing, I can see times where that would make sense. But you can also just, unless it's just for convenience, you could also just order those services when you'd like, and just tell me, hey, Chris, I'd like to get this service from you. Sure. And that's it. I don't there's no pressure. I'm not trying to pressure anybody. I try to present options and just make sure that the client knows exactly what they're getting. But I don't want to confuse the client. I don't need to deceive the client. I don't need to try to inundate the client with so many details, and so they don't understand exactly what's going on. That's never going to be the case. And I could tell that this prospective client had they had gone through the demos, and they were overwhelmed by the subscription and the all of the different things that these other companies were saying that they needed. You don't need them. You don't need them. And you can get you don't their services aren't any better than anyone else. So just because you pay more, it doesn't mean you get more. And in fact, you may be distracted and rerouted with um, all of these additional items that they want to sell you. Do you need analytics for accessibility? Do you really need that? Do you need a dedicated support team? Do you need to pay for that? Because that's one of those things. It sounds good in theory, but it's like, do we need all of this fluff in our contract, in our services? Because what I told the client is, yeah, we can offer you technical consulting, and you can purchase it in bundles of hours, and we could just start with however many hours you think you need. So if it's 10, we can start with 10, and just we can add more later if you need it. But if you don't, you don't need it. And so this is just a big difference with accessible.org. I have a completely different approach with clients. To me, with my clients, I'm looking out for my clients' best interest, not my own. And I take that completely seriously. I don't want this to be about me. If someone comes to me and I'm going to be successful regardless. So if someone comes to me, I want someone to know that yes, you can trust me. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need, and you're going to get excellent quality services that are going to match what your project is about. So that's again what I come back to the whiteboard. We have here project plan. This is what this was all about. What did you come to me for originally? I'm going to tell you that. And along the way, if I think that there's additional information that can help you, I will provide that. But that's it. There's no pressure. There's no need to sell extra things. I don't need to sell $50,000 annual subscriptions. I don't need to charge you for a scan. I'll tell you that you can go get a scan for free. So it's really the experience with accessible.org is very different. And I was reminded of that today talking to this client, because they just needed something simple, and they ended up being met with proposals for something very complicated. And you definitely don't need a subscription, especially if you work through accessible.org, because all of our services can be purchased a la carte. So there's a big difference. I will link to accessible.org in the description.